There was a period where every video made me $55,000.
Meet Ed Lawrence. He reveals in this episode a system that blew up his revenue to $400,000 per month. He used to spend 15 hours per day on Film Boot that had millions of views and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but decided to quit it all and go all in on a brand new smaller channel, and that actually quadrupled his revenue. How did he do it? Well, in this episode, he shares exactly how he built this new channel.
And I built my channel strategy around the buyers, not the viewers. If you optimize for viewers, you'll get viewers. If you optimize for buyers, you'll make money.
Why obsessing over YouTube Studio and 1 of 10s actually keeps you poor.
So I'm looking at this going, YouTube's lying to me. It's telling me not to do what I did in that video, but I know that this video will probably add another 30K to my business.
And the number one thing you must do to maximize your income with YouTube.
Every single person looks at YouTube the wrong way. I tell you what the ultimate hack is.
But just before we get started, if you're looking for an easy way to blow up your channel and find viral ideas, generate professional thumbnails, and optimize your titles, 1 of 10 has never been this cheap. Right now, we're doing a Black Friday with 50% off all plans. But this offer will only be available until December 1st. So click the link in the description to get your discount today. Ed, welcome back to the 1 of 10 pod.
Thanks for having me.
So why'd you quit YouTube?
Why did I quit YouTube? I still do YouTube.
So why'd you quit your big channel to then focus on your smaller channel?
Yeah, so I had a channel that I've been doing for a few years that had about 370,000 subscribers and 30 odd million views. The strategy was wrong. It was all about putting weeks of work into one video to optimize every second for like retention so that you could get hundreds of thousands of views. I don't think people realize if you want a lot of views, you have to start appealing to more and more people, make the content more entertaining, more obtainable to more people. And then that way YouTube's going to push it to more. So a huge amount of work will often go into that. And that became a full-time job. And then I was like, well, I have to find an editor who's very good, which became very hard. And then it just became building a production company, basically. And then trying to make money on the side, which was not what I intended.
Yeah.
So it was also what I was teaching. And I was like, hang on, this is not what I should be teaching people at all. Because who wants to do 15-hour days, 7 days a week, right? So I just thought, I'm going to stop. I'm going to scale it back. I'm going to go more niche, because the problem with my other channel was there's multiple avatars I was appealing to go broad. So people who want to grow faceless channels, people who want to do entertainment, people who want to be educators. Whereas when you want to sell a product or service, you can't really sell anything that great to so many different types of people. So I thought, right, pick the avatar I'm most interested in helping, which was businesses basically, and making it marketing. And then just make videos for them. The idea being I would slash my views, a smaller group of people, but create more impact. But then also to give me a lifestyle where a video might take 5 hours.
Because before it would take you 40 hours per video, and you will post...
Sometimes just the edit would take 40 hours.
Okay, you would go all in. And back then you were making how much per month, and now you're making how much per month with a smaller channel?
What happened was I realized that this didn't work. I took 6 months off posting and just focused on the business. And I did manage to get our business to about 100,000 a month.
Yeah.
But I was like, this isn't really sustainable. Like, if you want to have a good product, you have to put time into it. It can't be the side thing. It needs to be the main thing. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to make this better if all my focus is on YouTube. So yeah, when I made the switch, went from about 1 million to 4 million.
1 million to 4 million a year. Okay.
The months range a bit. It's not always the same every month,
right?
But it bounces between sort of $300,000 and $500,000 a month at the moment.
So you 4x your revenue per year, and you've slashed time put in the work as well, or it's about the same?
No, I still work crazy hours, but I don't work crazy hours on the wrong thing. So I have two things: generate business or hype, because I have a waitlist system, so we don't have sales open all the time, which means making content and then looking after my clients. So I'm very hands-on in that I'm in the Discord every day for an hour or two, like chatting with them. Yeah. Because I learn, if I'm working with them, I know the problems to fix. Yeah. I then work on building new AI, new content, new systems. I just spent 4 months rebuilding half the program. Because a couple of things, it's like, if you have a high ticket program like I do, it does go out of date in the YouTube space. And if I learn something, because I'm still making YouTube videos, which I did at the start of February, which basically changed the whole way I look at YouTube, I can't not teach that to my clients. So I went, I found a better way. I did 3 months. I worked for 3 months very hard, then deleted everything I made because I thought I could do it better. Then I had a very intense 2 months. The last 30 days I did every single day until I launched. So I still work in the same hours, but that's by choice.
Yeah, you want to create the best product. What did you learn new basically in the past 6 months that made you like reset everything and go?
Yeah, so basically the problem I had was I was a YouTube growth guy. That was what I was known for on my other channel. And when you're growing a channel, you want to position yourself to be known as something, right? If you do that, you become known for the thing. But I wanted to become known as the YouTubepreneur, like the person who grows businesses on YouTube. So I hadn't been taking the channel very seriously. I was throwing stuff up. We were just testing different things. And I was like, right now I have this offer I know is very good. I need to start attracting more of the right people. So I thought, right, I'm not currently getting pushed to enough of them. I need to be seeing in my audience also watch section on YouTube, business channels, not the YouTube channels. So I was like, I need to get in front of the right people. Yeah. So I just decided, just do like 2 months, 2 videos a week, test loads of formats, length, styles, depth, editing, you name it, learn from those patterns. But then at the same time, what I'd done is I was tracking sales from those videos because we built a software to track email signups, clicks, sales from content. And the idea was I would remake what grew the business, not what grew the channel. And by finally being able to see, oh, this video here got 35,000 views and maybe $90,000, and this one got 300,000 views and maybe $9,000, I was like, this is a completely broken system. And it goes back to what I said at the start. When you want lots of views, you appeal to lots of people. What I started to see was, if I talk about a specific problem I know that my dream buyers have, that not a lot of people do, but it's one of these problems I hear over and over again, and I address it in a video, I could then see the amount in that video going up. So I was like, I'm just going to grow my channel looking at dollars, clicks, and emails now. And then views are going to be a byproduct because I'm not trying to get as many viewers. If someone buys, and a lot of people buy, that's the ultimate sign I've attracted the right viewer, not views. That could be anyone. So when I'd done all this testing and got all this data, we'd also started tracking the users of our software, and we track about 500 million views. That then starts to give me benchmarks. So I'm seeing what's an average click rate on a link below a video to an offer? What's an average conversion rate? What sort of content gets more people to sign up to emails? What should you say in the first 90 seconds if you want more sales? What should you say in the first 90 seconds if you want more emails? And I looked at it and I was like, I got YouTube wrong again. I was teaching people to go too entertaining, and then I was teaching them to niche down. But I was like, no, it's not even just niching down. It's forget the views and just run your channel on business metrics. So the YouTube Studio, I only go in to upload videos. Now I run the whole thing. And that is when the turnover really exploded.
And that's why we built oneof10.com, a tool that helps creators like you do the same, but 100 times easier. The tool helps you find viral video ideas already working in your niche. It then analyzes the millions of outliers in the database to help you generate your titles and thumbnails that match your channel. For example, it can create thumbnails in the style of Beluga, or even create variations of thumbnails from just a title. And this works in any niche. No more wasting hours brainstorming concepts and designing on Canva. And one creator even used one of 10 to combine a viral idea with a high-performing thumbnail concept. The result? Her most viewed video ever with over 2 million views. And the best part? With code POD20 you'll get 20% off for life. So if you want to grow your channel faster, join thousands of YouTubers and head over to oneof10.com. Now back to the pod. And you saw that when? In the past few months?
So it's February 2025 where I started doing this test because I had the software and I was like, I just want to learn as much as I can. Let's see what happens. And I tried tons of stuff within a few months. As a result of that, March, we hit 500,000 in turnover. And then I had all this data where I was like, oh, wow. Everything's changed, but on a level like no one even, it wasn't possible to know this before.
That's super interesting. Maybe you can talk a bit more, like what does the software do and how it's helping the users as well?
It's very simple in that you put a link below your video, right? we track that. So if someone clicks it, you get a click in the software. If someone then goes and books a call as a result of that click, you get a call booking. If someone then buys, you get a conversion, and you can set how much your product is worth. So you can look, and my favorite metric is dollar per view. So I have a video that has made $21 per view, another one that's made 10. The one that made $10 per view only got 3,000 views. Whereas I have other videos getting 50 cents a view and have 100,000. So when you look at dollar per view in these other metrics, it's basically telling you how much that video resonated with your perfect buyer, which is the whole point of the business. Whereas YouTube's data is all about how well it works for viewers. And YouTube's whole entire studio is designed for people to get more views, so they make more ad revenue. That's the whole point of YouTube, right? It wasn't built as a marketing platform for businesses. We've just stolen it. By looking at the numbers of the business metrics, you don't need to go in the YouTube studio. Just run your business by that.
And I'm curious, which video made you the most money of per view, basically?
I tell you what the ultimate hack is the about link in your channel profile. That's made me $500,000, that one link that gets clicked on. And from looking, so we're tracking like 500 million views, all these links that are getting clicked. The About Us link in your channel About Us page is always in your top 3, and it is consistently the highest earning. So the first thing I do to my clients when I go and check out their page, I'm like, please put your offer in that link. Don't put links to Instagram. Don't put links to Snapchat. That link will get clicked so much more times than you can ever imagine. And for me personally, it's generated over 500,000 since January. So it was in there.
Wow. That's super interesting.
You see that? So this is the About link on my channel, which you can see is here.
Okay.
Oh, cool. In fact, can you see that? This is the About link data getting clicked, right? So what happens is when the channel grows, you have a spurt, you naturally get tons of people coming in. And you can see my emails shot up. It doesn't look like I was tracking sales and calls there. But the About Us link generates a huge amount. This video did $280,000.
Which one? The exact system to go from 0 to 1 million. Okay.
Yeah, it's a deep dive. It's basically the layout of my program. But you can look at dollar per view as like $1.80, right? Which is still pretty good. But if we could switch to what I was saying earlier, I just put this video up, 474 views, $21 per view.
Right.
This one, 3,000 views, $9 a view. This one, this is one of the ones where I realized the power of targeting a very specific problem in your content, because it got 15,000 views and it made $63,000 at $4 a view. So the video did rubbish. In terms of one of my channel videos, it's one of the worst performing. But it was so targeted to a hot problem that my buyers have now.
What was the problem?
Were like, the problem is called warm audience depletion. So basically what happens is when you are an organic content creator, so you make videos that you put out with free stuff, right? You build up an audience of hot buyers and people who are ready to buy, like right now. And when you hit them with enough promotion, eventually that depletes. And if it depletes faster than you're topping it up with cold, which is very common, you end up seeing your sales tail off and off and off. So what you need to do is try and build systems to slow down warm audience depletion. And that's the problem. I know a lot of people are like, I don't get why my sales are going down. The channel's growing. It's because the views can go up and with cold viewers, but you're not doing enough to warm them up to replenish your hot audience.
So it's like to keep, I guess, returning viewers to know your offer and then hit them again with the offer?
So the only metric I measure in the YouTube studio is return viewers, because that is the size of my potential audience pool. And that can either remain the same. So say it's 50,000 people a month and my business will grow, because return viewers don't come back. That will naturally start to get smaller. So if it's staying the same, you're getting new people coming in as well. And so it either needs to stay the same or grow. And that's the only real data I care about in the YouTube studio. Because as long as that's growing or maintaining, the business will continue to make money, because that's my hot audience pool, or a warm audience pool anyway.
But staying on that topic, so what is the technique to keep them?
Well, there's a few things, right? So it's just called goodwill. So the more they consume of your content, and the longer they consume for, really, the hotter they get. So I break it down to 3 audience types. Cold, don't know you, don't like you, don't want to give you any money. Warm, know you, kind of like you, maybe aren't ready to buy, but are thinking about it. Hot, they just want to buy. They're like, where's the buy button? We want to get as many hot ones as we can. So the technique to do that is to just be consistent. So this is one of the things where about YouTube, people don't value enough. So I'm only looking to get 10,000 views per video, because if I do that, I know my warm audience thing stays high and I can generate $300,000 to $500,000 like a month, right? So as long as I post 1 video a week, that just happens. It doesn't matter if that video is a flop or gets lots of views, because of the work I put into the content. It pretty much always does that, right? So we've got like a baseline that we can follow. And then what you need to do is find a way to be able to promote them easily and keep warming them up. So I just make videos and they sell, but I also drive them to an email list and then just send them value in that way. Once you've got them in the email, they're pretty much warm. So when you start promoting to this email list, so long as they've consumed enough of your content and really like you, that's when sales get a lot easier. So what a lot of people don't do is they don't spend enough time on email. It's an afterthought. So they don't email their list. So they're just making YouTube videos and their audience and sales depletes, because a lot of sales are going to come from your email too, right? You've got to have that fast-paced way to promote. So, and that's kind of it. It's just giving value. If you start giving value in the way that I mentioned, where this video that got 15,000 views and made $63,000, when you hit them with the problem they have right now, and they're like, that's the exact thing I have, this warms them up more, and they're more likely to fly in. So it is a game. Every business is going to be different. And over time, what you start to notice is when depletion's happening. So we can spot it 30 to 60 days early before it might become a problem. And then that might be a game of going, right, we need to put more content out. We need to send more emails. We need to do some live streams. We need to do something to generate more value, to warm more people up so that we get more sales.
How are you targeting the problems of your potential buyers and then creating content around it? Like, what's your process there?
So in YouTube, what people do is they go to YouTube, they research the patterns on YouTube to see what gets more views. I don't go on YouTube. I get as much data about the people who have bought from me, and then I build my channel strategy around the buyers, not the viewers. If you optimize for viewers, you'll get viewers. If you optimize for buyers, you'll make money. So every person who signs up to my program gets sent a survey. On the calls, we get a survey. We collect as much data as we can on buyers. And then I can analyze that and I work out the big problems. And if you watch any one of my videos at all, it's only 3 things I ever say that this next thing will solve. And it's the top 3 buyer problems that we have data on that says this is all your buyers care about. So we use the data that's off of YouTube and then put it on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. That's basically the whole process. You see what the buyers that you currently have are doing, how they're using your product, how they end up buying, and then you see their pain points, and then you. What
happens is when someone buys, when they make a purchasing decision, they're doing so to solve a pain, right?
Yeah.
So if you know what that pain is, you can position everything you do as the solution to it. So the pain is not consistent sales and leads, not having enough time, and then the other 2 keep changing. But one of the big pains is not being able to get clarity on their niche. They're struggling to even get started. So in my intro, I can turn around and say, are you struggling to get sales views and leads? And then say the video is going to solve that. And then I can say this first point isn't just going to generate you more sales and leads. It's going to do it with 3 hours work less a week, because I know that their problem is time. So every single video I make is designed to hit on 3 problems every time. And no matter what I say it is the solution to one of those problems.
Beautiful. It's smart. Yeah,
Which is pretty simple, right? It's a lot more simple than YouTube. And that's the problem. Yeah. If you're trying to grow a YouTube channel for a business, it doesn't really work.
Let's say users of your software, what have you learned from them? Basically, what kind of content leads to buying, basically?
So the stuff that we see generally is, like I said, specific pain points.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to package it in a specific way, right? You go too specific with the thumbnail and title, you could actually put off too many people. And sometimes the people with the problem don't click on you saying I have the solution to the problem. But basically, if you know what your buyer's problems are, that is the main thing and just saying you're going to solve them. The next thing is you have to have your offer and every video on your channel solving the same problems, right? Yeah. Most people, they set up a channel and they talk about like 10 different things, which firstly won't grow a channel. But then if you're talking about 10 different things and you drive them to an offer, which is only solving one of those things, a tenth of your audience might be interested in it. That doesn't work. So the more in line your video with the problem your offer solves, the more likely you will see conversions increase. And then the next thing is just really simple. It's asking people to click the link. And again, right, if we can track click-through rates on links, so if I want to make people join my email list, I know that the average is 1%. So people trying to go to their email list, 1% of viewers will click on that link below, which is rubbish because you can get it to 10% by simply asking in the first 90 seconds, then telling them the reason they should click is going to basically solve the problem the video is solving they're now watching, but with more depth. And then to make sure the page they go on is very simple. And that, as in the sign-up page to get them onto the email, is very simple, not cluttered. And what you'll see is the click rate on a video to your email sign-up go from 1% to 8%.
Yeah.
Now, that's not a 7% increase. It's like a 700% increase, right? Or 800% increase of traffic. Yeah. So what we noticed was the most important metric in all of this stuff we've got is the click percentage on the video below, on the link below your video. So if 100 people watch and 10 click, you've got a 10% click-through rate on that link below. And people are very bad at calls to action. They're not very good at asking. And then when they do ask, they never relate it to the video they're watching and say, this extra asset is going to help you get even better results.
I would think we try not to give a CTA too early in the video, because if not, they're going to leave and just not watch the video. And then it leads to a video that underperforms.
They don't leave. Because if they're cold, they don't click. They just keep watching. And if you do it in a way that's quick and fast, so I'm not doing calls to action for new viewers. I don't want them to come to anything. They don't buy anything. They don't convert. They're skeptical. I'm doing my call to action early on for the person who's watching the second or third video on my channel. So my channel's optimized to drive people around, right? We need them to go from one video to the 20th video. And they're not going to sign up the first time they say, hey, click my thing. It just doesn't work like that. They sign up the third time you say it because they trust you. So again, I don't care if my video is getting less views. That's not the point of the content. I want people to click the link and go in. And there's tons of videos where you see people ask call to action early and still get a lot of views. So it's not that detrimental either because, again, like at best, you might see 10% of people click and leave, but they might come back still. And I also believe that if you do a good job of it, and then they look at it and they're like, this is great, and then they're watching the video, the viewer satisfaction's going up, they're more likely to subscribe, they're more likely to give YouTube the metrics they want. So the key is how you ask and doing it fast in the first 90 seconds. But I did a test and I asked 3 times in a video, and the click percent and the link went up to like 6, 7, 8%.
And the views were still good.
Yeah. I don't really care.
It doesn't make people leave. Okay.
I don't really care. Well, let me show you something. Right.
Yeah.
So
in the end, you care about more money per views in the end.
Let me just go to my channel. So my latest video is very big flop, right? A 10 out of 10 in the YouTube studio. So, oh no, it's just shot up to an 8. I changed the title. But you can see, right? YouTube's saying, do not make that again. Okay? That is YouTube saying you are not growing a channel. This is bad for you. We rebuilt the dashboard and it now measures it on business metrics. I have a 1 out of 10. It's one of my best performing videos ever.
Oh, you're doing it out of, okay, interesting.
I have emails, 1 out of 10, 90. So I'm looking at this going, YouTube's lying to me. It's telling me not to do what I did in that video. Whereas I know this video will, generally speaking, well, there was a period where every video made me $55,000. It's probably dropped a bit now because I took my foot off the gas a little bit. But I know that this video will probably add another, 30K to my business if I ignore the YouTube studio. Because if I did what the YouTube studio told me to do, let me show you these videos.
You would just stop doing it.
Well, the best performing videos on my channel made the least money. This one here made me one sale. This one here, maybe nothing.
Yeah.
This one here, 400,000 views. I actually think that one did okay. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, that one did well. So this one made me $178,000.
178,000. Okay, from 470,000.
Yeah,
views.
so
Okay.
the dollar per view is low, but actually that video was never really designed for my buyers. That was actually designed for viewers. It's about YouTube growth, and it was before I'd positioned, but it still keeps ticking along. This is the one that's made 280,000. That's when I started doing the test. So this is the thing, right? It's like, also what I noticed was when I started to optimize my content for buyers, YouTube started to push it to more people like them, more business owners.
Oh, so is that what you saw? Interesting.
Yeah, that's how my audience also started to change, and I started getting in the business channels and YouTube ones.
What changed exactly? Because you were already targeting business people, so it led to what type of business people?
Oh, the style of content. I was the style of content change and the messaging, and I had a better understanding of my buyer, because before I was optimizing for viewers still. So I was playing the YouTube game. That test I started doing in February was based on what do my buyers want and how can I make content for them, and what will happen if I put 2 videos out a week? What can we learn? I didn't expect it to work that well. I thought this is going to be an absolute disaster. But I took 2 videos before I thought, whoa, hang on, what's going on here? And now I'm just repeating what grows the business.
I'm curious, what's the best CTA you've seen working? Because you mentioned extra asset in the email that makes sense with the video. Is that the best, or what would you say?
The best call to action is to create a tool that you actually use in the video as a point. So let me give an example. A point in one of my videos, it was about AI. I said, right, point 5, like this AI enables you to do X, Y, and Z. And I showed them using it, and I was like, by the way, I made it. It's free. You can get it below if you like. Everyone jumps in and gets the free AI because you've demoed it, you've showed it. So it makes, once I saw that, it was like an AI planner, I thought, hang on, I should just use this in loads of videos and be like, right, I'm just going to use my AI planner now, which you can get below. And then the clicks go up. And then what I started to notice was, even if I didn't promote it, leaving free AI video planner below my video still got loads of clicks. So it was good for growing the email. So if you really want to grow your email list, you create some sort of simple thing, a spreadsheet, a tool that you use in the content, and then give it away. And that will see your email lists explode. For sales, it really is slightly different in that it depends on the offer. So if you have a low ticket offer, a few $100s, you can make sales straight from the YouTube. If you have a high ticket offer, you got to go for a call. There's more things there's more hurdles that the buyer has to jump through, right? So there's not like one set thing that works best for them. But I think the best way to promote your business on YouTube without it ever feeling like it's promoting, because 2 weeks ago was the first time I ever put a promo video on my channel, and I've been doing this for 6 years. It was just an outright 3-minute video saying, I've got a thing, do you want to buy it? And then I unlisted it after a few days. It was just a test. But if you want to promote, you talk about your client wins. So if we go back to what I was saying about my buyer's top 3 problems, I'll start every point in my video going, right, this next thing is going to enable you to generate 5 times the sales it used to. Like my client Dan here, when I met, he was making $50 a month, and now he's making $100,000 a month. So let me show you how this works. So you start to bring in your client results, your wins, mention your product in that way, in a way that isn't even saying buy it, and you're going to start driving people to your offer, and they don't even know it doesn't feel like promotion, right?
I guess we should do that with 1 of 10.
People are terrified to promote because they've seen it done so badly, and they don't like the feeling when it's done badly. So one of my clients this week, she was like, Ed, if I send them an email every other day, which is like an automated thing you do when someone signs up to your email list, I get people to send like 10 emails over a 20-day period. It's not that much. But she was worried. She's like, we're going to bombard them. It's going to annoy me. They're going to unsubscribe. And I was like, well, that's not going to happen. She was like, well, I didn't go into yours. I was like, you did. She was like, oh, I didn't even notice. I was like, no, because I do it in a way that you like it. I send you value. It's useful. Yeah. I'm not spamming you with stuff. So the art is understanding your buyer's problems and then positioning everything around that. And then just saying, I've got something else that can go deeper in a way that isn't too pushy. You'll get people converting. But I think every single person for a month should do 2 to 4 times more promotion than they usually do and see how little no one cares and how much more money they make.
So to be clear, for you, when someone signs up to your software, or your program, they get 10 emails in 20 days?
When they join my email list, they will get 10 emails over the course of 20 days.
Okay.
5 very valuable, just useful stuff with a PS at the bottom that says, would you like to, check out my program in a slightly more eloquent way? And then 5 that are case studies and proof of results that are a slightly stronger call to action. But when I look at that data, you can see open rates. And the open rate on day 1 is the same as the open rate on the last day, which tells me I'm not emailing them enough. That needs to go down. They're liking it too much.
When you're on YouTube, is your main goal to bring them to email or to a phone call or to the link and to sign up right away? Or like you said earlier, it's a mix of it all. But then what is the one that'll convert the best in general from what you've seen? Is the funnel always email from what I'm hearing, or like what?
Depends on the business and depends on what works for you. So everyone has their own different methods. You have to try it and optimize the one so it works for you. But for my business, my program, we have a waitlist. So I can't take on like huge groups in one go, right? It doesn't work. So we cap it. And then as soon as they sell out, we do the waitlist again, right? So in my videos, I'm never really saying, go and buy my thing right now, because it sells out in like 6 or 7 days. So it's only ever really 6 or 7 days a month you can get it. So I drive them to my sales page, which they often will have to join the waitlist. And then below that, if you look at my videos, I have top call to action, work with me. Then below that, probably a lead magnet for my free AI bot and my software. But if I'm trying to promote my lead magnet on my email, that's the top link. But if you want the best one that works for you, what I did was say, I don't know what's going to work. Let's put my email and my business like sales page up, and then just to see what happens. And it worked so well, I thought, why change it and test another funnel? It's really good at the moment. Yeah. So just try the simplest option to start. And then if you're happy with the results, leave it.
And before getting into that, let me tell you about how the 1 of 10 strategy team can help you grow your channel much faster and make more money. Our team has directly worked with over 100 YouTubers to grow their channels by optimizing their content, focusing on the right strategy. So for example, here's a video idea, title, and thumbnail that we crafted for Mike Shake that ended up getting 22 million views and being his most popular video of all time. Another example is the content strategy we built for Callaway, helping him go from 0 to 70,000 subscribers and grow a 6-figure business on top of that. And those are only just 2 of many creators the team has worked with in the past 6 years. So if you're ready to take your channel to the next level in the next 90 days with daily support, video reviews, winning ideas, titles, and thumbnails, and even 2 calls per month to answer all your questions, head over to oneof10.com/strategy to book a call. I'm curious, from all the case studies you've seen, what is the lowest views for highest revenue you've seen? Let's say with low views, like less than 10K views, but you saw like an insane,
I think one of my clients got $64 per view. The video only got like 1,000 views. Or
$64 for 1,000 views. That is insane.
This is what happens when you go really niche. They were super niche. They targeted an audience where they were only getting 300 or 400 views a video sometimes. Their business hit 100K a month.
Do you know, can you say like what kind of business?
Yeah, they were in a niche. It was like permanent jewelry and permanent makeup. There was no one doing it on YouTube. And it's like small views, but they created a business helping other people get into this niche that was booming. And they picked up massive clients and the business was growing like crazy. And it was really cool to see. Again, when people forget that this is just marketing, right? At the end of the day, if we take all the emotion out of it, and there's too much emotion in YouTube for a lot of people, it's what makes it so hard, right? Because they quit, because they tie all their well-being into a 1 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. But if you remove all of the emotion from all of this, it's just a numbers game where you look at a spreadsheet every month, which I'm sure a lot of people will hate to hear me say, but that is the name of the game. And if it doesn't matter how many views you're going, if all the business metrics go the right way.
I mean, that's the end goal of pretty much all business people on YouTube, but also even like the majority of creators.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who get a lot of views and don't make much money. We had a client recently who was getting amazing views, doing really well in YouTube sense, on the verge of shutting their business down, doing it on the side of their business, wanted to quit. And basically we looked at their channel and their offer and said, you're targeting the wrong person. Like I was, right? We said just target a slightly different type of person. The value of your offer will shoot up. So they went from charging $78 a month to $9,000
for the year. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So it would have been $800 for the year, but they then repositioned the content on the channel to a slightly different person. Started hitting $37,000 months. This is all in the space of like 12 weeks.
Okay.
And now we were talking earlier about how do we get to 100K a month?
Right.
50K, 100K, because they have got such a targeted channel and offer to these three big problems that their buyers really care about. They can start making money, and they haven't increased their channel views at all to do this.
Talking about more traffic, I remember you were doing like multiple traffic sources, right? Like Twitter and other places, but then you just stopped everything and just all in YouTube and email.
I got rid of all social media. I don't have it on my phone. We're just going to start testing some ads for a bit. But
right.
I got rid of Twitter because, again, we can track all this from my software. I was like, I'm not getting any sales from Twitter. I wasn't doing it. I was outsourcing it, but I was like, even outsourcing it is half an hour of my week. I might as well just get rid of that. No Instagram, nothing. Just went all in on YouTube. And then again, when I did that, at the end of the day, if you are on other social media platforms, that eats into your headspace. The comments, the data, the posting, the trying to stay consistent. And for me, that just makes your results worse in other places. So you just got to pick one platform.
Platform is YouTube here.
Yeah, and it's the best one.
If you have like some last nuggets to get more people to buy from your channel. For example, you talked about the about link being the top. I know you often say people are underestimating community posts. How is it for you? 2023,
I think when I'd realized on my old channel Film Booth, I was like, this doesn't work for the long term. And I rebuilt my program for the new avatar I wanted to appeal to. So the new buyer type, right?
Yeah.
It took me a year, but I was like, this is going to take me 18 months if I do it on the side of the channel. So I stopped everything and just had 6 months pure focused on it. Apart from 1 email a week to my list and 5 community posts a week.
Oh.
And just those 2 things grew my business without posting a single video. And it got me through the point where depletion, which I spoke about earlier, was probably going to start kicking in.
Right.
So I just posted value. And what I did was every Monday when I email my list, I wrote a special type of community wall post. It started with a hook, set up the problem that my viewers have, told them I had an amazing solution, then said, I'll email it to you at 3 p.m. today if you get on my list, which gave them 3 hours. I always did it 3 hours before my email went out. Yeah. That would get like 800 people on my list sometimes in one post, and then the email would sell to them. So I was basically growing my email list just from the community wall and then selling in the email. And yeah, back then, no one was doing the community wall. So you get an insane amount of impressions. You still can now. Like the impressions you get on them are crazy. It's so easy. It's like the easiest social media platform. So if you want to make sales from it, I don't think you want to turn it into a board where you sell all the time, but just stick to the 80-20 rule, 80% value, 20% promotion. And again, we track it. I can see I can put a community wall post up and $20,000 can come off the back of it, which is amazing for 5 minutes of work. But yeah, the community post is just post short stuff. Some people are just obsessed with doing random polls, like what's your favorite color? And they look at it going, wow, look how many impressions I got. It's the same. Like be targeted, tell stories, give little tips, and then once every now and then just promote. It will grow your business.
What's your game with outros? Like that's what you do in general?
I'll just drive them to a video that's proven for conversion. So I look and see which videos are growing my business and point more people at them. You don't let YouTube promote it. You point all your end screens at it. You make it your channel trailer. My channel trailer is just a promo video that's on my website, and that generates a lot of sales. But yeah, you just find what converts and get as many views on it yourself. Mm-hmm. Take the control from the YouTube algorithm. Because my channel gets just about the same amount of views from end screen traffic as it does the traffic source search. Very powerful.
So that's something that's underestimated as well.
Yeah, but we'll think about it like this, right? The average click-through rate on YouTube is what? Like 3%? Like, if we look at it like that, you can get your end screen click-through rate up to 20%. You're never going to get a click-through rate like that anywhere on YouTube because you have 2 sentences to promote it and big it up. So your end screen, Film Booth had 700,000 views just from end screens. And remember what I said, right? The second video they watch makes them more likely to buy or sign up. So your end screen is important because if it's the first time they discover you, we got to get into the next video and the next so that they then sign up to your email, so that they then want to buy your thing. If we don't take control of that link, it potentially doesn't work as well.
Another question I'd like to know is, when is the best time in a video to do the CTA? Because you mentioned, at the beginning, 90 seconds. Is that the best, or is it better to do it all the time, 3 times? And also, I'm curious, like, what does it look like, the CTAs at the end of a video as well?
So if you really want to get clicks, do it in the first 90 seconds after a little bit of value. So you got to move fast, right? You got to get some value in. We don't want intros longer than like 20 seconds. We've got to get some value in, and then we say, and then do it in the middle, and then do it just before your end screen. Just try that once. The thing is, if you're not tracking it, you're never going to know, right? So it's tough to base it on. But if you do that, and then sometimes if you do a really good job of video, right? Let's say it's 25 minutes long. Let's say 20% of people get to the end, and you ask at the end, and those guys have had a lot of warmth, a lot of value, right? So they're warming up and building up, and then you ask them to click on a link below. You're going to see a lot of clicks come in still, because the audience was heated up by the content. Yeah. I've got some videos where the 19th minute I asked, and it still did really well, even though less people would have got to that point.
It's what I always thought. If the CTA at the end is what I always thought to have the highest conversion, since the person's watching until the end, got all the value, and then the ones that would click there are more
that would make sense.
Convert. Yeah.
But just keep in mind that the second video they watch, not just the first. Because for businesses in particular, this doesn't work if they watch one video. In fact, you can see from my data, when a video blows up, what happens is you get cold traffic going to your sales page. The percentage of people will crash who buy compared to the amount that went there. Our sales calls used to get clogged up with people who didn't even know why they're on the call. Our conversion rate would go down. So cold traffic creates a mess of all of your business metrics, whereas the warm traffic doesn't. So that's all I care about. Get some people in and then focus on warming them up as much as possible, rather than get loads of people in and then just let them be.
It's a long-term game in the end, and that's...
Yeah, you need to think in 10-year cycles. That was when I started doing this, I was like, if I do this for 10 years, I reckon after 10 years, I can become a somebody who does something. I was like, I might be able to get to $250,000 a year. That would be good. That was my goal.
Now you're doing it in 2 weeks. Not too bad. Any last piece of advice?
I think the biggest piece of advice I'd have is this. Every single person looks at YouTube the wrong way, because they think the idea is you put out a video and you grow a channel. But that's not how it works. What you need to do is think of every single video you make as a test, where you learn one thing that you then take into your next video. And if you can do that 50 videos time, that's when this epic payoff comes. But you have to expect that there's going to be this pain zone where it feels like not much is happening, or you're leveling up. And then when you see a video get some traction, repeat it very closely. So very similar thumbnail, very similar title, structure the video in exactly the same way, and just put in different words. And if you do that, you're going to find that video brings more people back. And businesses in particular are so bad at this. They constantly change. Here's a new idea, here's a new idea, here's a new idea. And something will take off, and then they'll do something completely different. And your viewers only come to you for the thing they discovered you for, basically. That's what you are known for. So if lots of people discover you for one thing, repeat it. And expect this to take time, because you get one video a week. When people do ads for their business, they might throw 100 ads up at once and put $10,000 into it. And within 3 days, they might have all the data and all the learnings, so they can learn very fast as to what works, and then they repeat. But on YouTube, that could take you a year. So you have to be very long-term about it. Stick to the plan and repeat what works. That would be my final message.
Well, Ed, thanks for coming on the 1 of 10 pod.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
And guys, if you like this, you should watch this other one.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, true. Last time you corrected me. You do it.
Yeah,
you do the outro.
Remember, right? Okay, let's play the game. What are the top 3 problems 1 of 10 users have?
Yeah, to grow on YouTube, basically to find the right idea and find the right thumbnail or title. Yeah.
So then what we do is we start with the problem with the end screen call to action. So we say something like, all right, so Ed has now told you how to grow your business. The problem is you have to get traffic to your sales page. So if you don't know how to come up with ideas fast, that are proven, and are going to be easy to make, that's not going to happen. So watch this video next, and I will show you exactly how to do all of that. So we've set up the 3 problems that your buyers care about and said the video solves it. Watch it.
What he said.